Hello there, Pixies! This video has been quite a long time coming and I'm not really sure how this is going to work out. I just really want to talk about the Crimes of Grindelwald, and as a warning, this is the spoiler version. I will be talking about the characters, the plot, and also the whole reaction as a whole from a lot of fans to this film, because it's a mixed bag of reactions. So without further ado, I want to just get into this review and thought dump. The opening scene, the Thestral chase, that was really confusing when I first watched it. I was thinking to myself, what's going on? I mean, for me, it's hard enough to see anyway, but I don't think it was very clear what was going on. The whole Abernathy switch, some people think it's odd that he could, like, transfigure. Was it Polyjuice Potion? No, I don't think it was Polyjuice Potion. He could be a Metamorphomagus, because Metamorphomaguses can change their appearance to pretty much anyone, really, if they know what they look like and can get the details in their head. That's how I see it anyway. So him transforming constantly from one to the other is not a big deal to me. He might just be really good at transfiguration magic as well, so that didn't bother me, but I was really confused. I was like, why did Grindelwald give him a forked tongue? The opening scene did show Grindelwald's character very, very well. He was thinking of people as disposable, and the way he, like, threw that little, whatever that creature was, out of the window, just like, oh, you're too needy, bye. That just showed it for who he was. Like, he just doesn't care. He will use anything and think of everything as disposable, and I thought that was a really, really good way to show it. I think that Johnny Depp was a good Grindelwald. Much better than the first film anyway. On to the characters. I first want to talk about Queenie. Okay, so when we first saw Queenie again, it was lovely. You know, she had that warmth about her, but it was different. It was quite manic. It was definitely not the same vibe. It was different, and I was like, what has she done? And I was like thinking, Jacob, are you drunk? First I thought he was drunk, and I was like, no. Something's wrong. And then when I found out what Queenie did, charming him so that he would marry her, I was genuinely furious at her, and I thought I couldn't forgive her. I was definitely on Jacob's side, but that scene broke my heart. However, Alison played it so well. She knew exactly what Queenie's motives were. I knew what Queenie's motives were. I just didn't want to believe it. This girl just longs for family. That's all she wants, is a family, and she is willing to go too far to get it, and I do understand why she joined Grindelwald in the end, but the walk with me scene broke my heart. Tina and Newt in this film, I thought the salamander eyes thing was so cute. But other than that, Tina was very underutilised in this film. Like, I didn't get so attached to her this time. Maybe if I watch it a second time, I'll be more attached, but I don't know. Tina just wasn't in it enough to me, and her motives never seemed very, very clear. I know she wanted to find Credence because she really cares about Credence, but again, the whole Credence thing, I'll get back to that. Leta Lestrange. From the moment she appeared on screen, she was beautiful and wonderful. I don't think I was completely convinced about her and Newt's friendship. It seemed very odd to me that they would be friends. It still doesn't quite fit in my mind, but she was very warm. Like, I got the impression that Leta is quite warm, not like in a bubbly, overly friendly kind of way, but if you take the time to talk to her, then I feel like she would be quite a warm character. And that goes with Theseus as well. I thought they were an okay couple. I would have liked to have seen them together more. Same with Newt and Theseus. I wanted more brother scenes because I needed to feel that connection. And I know that technically we're not supposed to, because Newt doesn't feel that connection with his brother. He just cuts off a little. But you could tell that Theseus absolutely adores Newt, and I think it's really sweet, and I would have liked to see more of it. But back to Lita, because I'm completely all over the place. Back to Lita. Her death, it really got to me. It shook me to my core. I didn't think it would be Lita. I thought Theseus was going to die. I genuinely thought it would be Theseus, because when I was listening to the soundtrack and the theme, so you had the Wands into the Earth, or whatever it is. You have that track, and then after that track is Restoring Your Name. So I was like, okay, we see Theseus and Newt like putting their wands into the earth in the trailers. So I thought, okay, Theseus must die because it can't be Newt. And then Restoring Your Name, I thought, oh, well, that means that Theseus is redeeming himself for joining Grindelwald. I thought maybe he joined Grindelwald, but I wasn't expecting what actually happened, and that was Lita sacrificing herself, taking on Grindelwald. Like, girl, she was, wow. I mean, she really held her own. She's a great jeweler, but not good enough. And I'm really sad that she won't be back, because personally, just really connected with her for various reasons, and just, yeah, I really liked Lita. I think I've talked too much about her though. Okay, the plot. It was both my favourite and least favourite part of this film. Wow. The Blood Pact. Let's start with the Blood Pact. Where did that come from? And what does it mean? And how do you put a blood pact in an amulet? And if it's a blood pact, why doesn't Albus have his own version? It's a lot. It's a lot. The blood pact is a lot to take in. And then you have the whole Lita switching Corvus as a baby. Personally, I think that isn't true. I think Credence might still be Corvus. I don't think that he is Aurelius Dumbledore at all. I think Grindelwald's lying. I have two theories, and they're not just my theories. A lot of people have said the same thing. Either Grindelwald is lying completely and Credence is actually Corvus Lestrange, or Credence is technically a Dumbledore but not really a Dumbledore because of Obscuruses. Okay, I'm thinking, because Dumbledore said that Obscuruses have a dark... Dumbledore said that the Obscurus is a dark twin. So I'm thinking, we always suspect now that Ariana was an Obscurial. So maybe when Ariana died, her Obscurus took human form and became Aurelius. And that's the only way I could see it. And it makes sense for the first film because Grindelwald was looking for an Obscurus and he found it, and it wasn't who he thought it was. And he thought that the Obscurus was a girl. That would make sense. The Credence thing, Credence didn't do much in this film, neither did Nagini. She did nothing. Like, I don't know why she was there. It was a waste, really. I hope she does more in the new film. This is such a rambly video. I am so sorry. Ugh, there was so much to think about. I need to watch this film again, is what I'm saying. I feel like so many characters were underutilized in this film. Like, nearly everyone, you know, you had Jacob, he didn't do much. Even Newt was kind of a background character. Nicholas Flamel, why was he there, and how did he know about putting the wands into the earth, and are we going to get an explanation about that? Like, it was really entertaining to see him, but I feel like he was just there for fan service. And of course, we have the McGonagall issue, which so many people are going on about. Personally, I think she just tweaked canon a bit, or she just forgot. She's got so much in her head to do with this world. She might have lost the notes that she had on that. Obviously, she does have Pottermore, so that's not really much of an excuse. But I just don't really care. Like, cool. It's fan service. She's allowed to change her canon a little bit. It's her canon. And quite frankly, it was just nice to see her. So that wasn't an issue for me. A lot of people have a lot of negative things to say about this film, that it was completely complicated and unnecessary, I guess, or that it was just terrible. I don't think it was terrible. I think that J.K. Rowling was experimenting with a different type of storytelling that we've only really seen in one other thing, and that's the Marvel Universe. I saw that in a blog post as well, and I completely agreed and thought of it before. I don't think she meant this to be a standalone film. And while that's weird and we're not used to it, it doesn't mean it's bad. It's meant to be the second part of a 5-part series, and she's used to writing novels, and that's the way she writes. So I am holding off judgment, though I'll say that it's not my favourite film from the Wizarding World. It's not my least favourite film in the Wizarding World. Half-Blood Prince is. This is a close second, though. I think people are being a little bit nitpicky, to be honest, and a bit disrespectful. Some people are threatening her with death, saying that she should die. Not acceptable either. I can't believe that people are doing that. I feel like she knows what she's doing. She's written it for 20 years. She knows these characters well, and she would never do anything so bad that we would probably just all leave the fandom. She cares too much about her characters. She does. And I will hold off any judgment until at least film 3 is over. And when that's over, and if I still don't think anything's linking, I might be a little more critical. I'm so sorry if this rambled, but if you did enjoy this, why don't you give it a big thumbs up? Do you think that Credence is actually a Dumbledore? That's what I want you to comment down below. Do you think he is, or do you think it's a ruse? Comment that down below. Yeah, and I will see you guys next time. I'm so sorry this is rambly.